Well, our next guest is back to regale us with many tales covering the biggest sporting events in the country, from cricket to footy, boxing, basketball, plus a healthy dose of cycling as well. Michael Roberts, Robbo, is back with us. G'day.
Welcome.
Welcome,
How are you? Been out having a roll with the Jayco Flyers since we saw you last?
Just got back from Bali, so Ed, I knew you'd like that because you're a bit of a surfer too. But got out on the bike on Wednesday morning, so we've had a bit of a go down Beach Road.
There's no winter for you, just the endless summer in Bali and all the summer
You
sports.
can't ride in Bali, there's too many potholes.
Yeah, no, wow, and the traffic. Yeah.
What's the vibe amongst the bunch you're riding with? Everyone in tour fever and trying that little bit harder at training?
Yeah, we've got some lunatics, the loco boys that I ride with. They stay up all night and they weigh their food. They ride to work. They do extra miles and hills on the weekend. They're obsessed.
Just for the 3 weeks of the tour, or
they go all year round. And there's a lot of groups, I've got to tell you, that do exactly that.
Really?
Unreal. Keeps you fit.
Well, everyone does get on the tour fever, and it can only be a good thing, especially when the Aussie is doing well or it's an exciting race like this year.
Absolutely. And you say an Aussie and a fever, like Stu O'Grady, what's he, 17?
17 tours.
Going for 18.
Warhorse.
And I remember him actually breaking every bone in his body, Gatesy, and you were picked in the national team, and you went to Dave Sanders, and he said, listen, I want to be in this team. And Dave couldn't believe he was walking, let alone wanted to compete. It was a Jayco Herald Sun tour, and he said, I will do it as long as I get to that first hill first, because I want to go off the back end in the tuck position by myself, because I'm petrified if anything goes wrong. Yeah. So it's the first time that Stu O'Grady has admitted that he's ever been scared on a bike, right? So we get to the top of the hill, he gets in the tuck position. I think Matty Wilson was in the side, and he ran over an 8-foot brown snake, which bowed in the middle and could have got caught in the spokes. So you can imagine Stewie there. And then halfway down, going 100 mile an hour, he's in the tuck position, and two of the biggest red kangaroos whack in front of him. Did he have the Hawthorn underpants on when he got to the bottom? Unreal. Stewie.
You'd have some Stewie tales too, wouldn't you, Nick? Years living together in Monaco and Nice, Hellraisers.
Stewie stories, but you know, he stood the test of time, 17 tours, and I've heard over the last couple of days or weeks, Stewie's been quiet. I'm like, you don't understand what you're saying. Yeah. You know, he's the backbone of the team, and he's the voice on the road. And
he's old school, isn't he? He's old school. He's the one that goes to the esky and has a couple when everyone else has got the Gatorades doing the exercises. Stewie will go to the esky. I think 2007 he won it, and the night before the time trial, I think he'd had a few and just came out and smashed them. So that's the sort of bloke he is.
Yeah, he's old school.
Well, he did send you a couple of happy pictures just the day before the race started in Corsica. You got the old tweets of Stewie, happy as a clam.
Yeah. Very
I
happy.
suppose he's seen it all and done it all. Has he got another tour in him? Is he going to go?
Yeah, for sure. He'll do another tour, I think.
Wow.
I think he's going to retire next year. Yeah. And he probably will retire after the tour and then step into a role in Green Edge.
Let me ask you guys, if I may. Sorry, Brady. He has a role now where he doesn't have to set himself for a big one-day performance. So he has to be more of at a constant level. Is that how you
he's
read
always got to be good now, you know, because he's got to be at the races calling the shots for the young guys. And he's always got to be good because he's ridden all these races for so many years. Now he's going to these races with kids that are like, where's Waregem? Is that France or is that Germany? No, that's Belgium, mate.
But we saw when he won Paris-Roubaix, he was in the same team as Fabian Cancellara, and Fabian wasn't having a good day. Stuart actually had to sort of say, hey, I feel great. Is it okay if I win the race today?
But to win that trophy, he reckons, that cobblestone trophy, heavy in your suitcase, by the way, you can have your teams get over the line, be, nice and sheltered, but to get out and win that's the highlight of his career.
Yeah, you've covered a lot of sports, Robbo. Isn't it a strange thing where one of the participants in a team has to kind of ask if it's okay if I can go and try and win? It's a strange notion.
It is a little bit, but that's the ultimate team, I reckon, and that's the plan, and you've got to stick to that plan. As soon as that plan's broken, it all goes pear-shaped. Something will happen in the race, though, where you've got to change that, don't you? You've got to have a few plans when you're riding in a pretty successful bike team.
And if you've got the backup of a plan B being Stewie, and he says to Cancellara, can I keep going and I'll win it? And that's okay.
This is why this bike race is not over, because anything can happen, especially climbing that thing, the Alps, twice.
And for Contador to have the Australian Michael Rogers as his thinking man on the road and to be able to assess tactically where they're at is just such an asset for them.
And that descent that Gatesy said about into Gap,
Oh, yeah.
where there could be something go on and Conador comes down, Froome goes into a ditch, we could see exactly the same
Yep.
thing when it
Oh,
skinnies up.
Not that we want people in
No,
ditches.
don't want
But
that.
thunderstorms are brewing, that's all I'll say, and it looks a bit hairy. Great stuff. Get out on the roads, but
Yeah.
ride safely without all those crazies. Just maybe lead off
Give
the
you a
front as
bottle
well.
of vino
Oh,
and
yeah.
a cap.
Yeah,
That's
Jerry,
true.
bit of Jerry
Sling-
Ryan's drop, is it?
Yep.
Sling that over the
Big
shoulders
chicken.
and watch out for the brown snakes as well. Good on you, Robbo.